All right, thank you, Victoria, for the community. Now, nearly 40% of the population in Hidalgo County is obese. Let's talk about the issue. We brought in dietitian Humberto Garza with Doctors Hospital at Renaissance. Thanks, Humberto, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So first, let's just talk about the issue itself. The number, nearly 40% of people, just McAllen, Edinburgh, Mission, are obese. Why is that?
I would like to think it starts with the education. Not a lot of us were educated on proper eating habits, nutritional value of foods, and just how detrimental the effects of overeating and consuming a diet low in nutritional value behind calories, what its effects would be.
And, a couple years ago, I actually put it on my Facebook page that the Washington Post released an article saying that food stamps are making South Texans obese, but leaving them hungry. Now, do you think that's something that's true?
Yes, ma'am. To some extent, it is. Like I said, it starts with the education. Nobody ever told us about the nutritional value of food. So, if someone hears that they can buy, the entire family sodas for a week with, just $10 on food stamps, of course they're going to run to that. But the effects of it, of course, are detrimental, and that is never taught to us.
And, in Texas, the highest percentage, children is one of the highest percentage of, being obese here in Texas. And do you have a lot of patients that walk in that are children? Have you noticed that there's more children walking into the office?
Yes, ma'am, there are. We see adolescents 12 and older. Their rates are increasing, and it just has to do with the lack of education. Their parents don't know what it is to give them, to feed them. More and more we're seeing 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, with pre-diabetes. Some of them are being diagnosed with diabetes. Some of them are sharing their parents' medication, their cholesterol medication, which is just, it's just crazy for here in the Valley. It's giving us negative exposure, and it's not something to be proud of.
And is that one of the side effects that you see, is that the diabetes rate here in the Rio Grande Valley is that 26% of people have diabetes? Is that something that goes hand in hand with, obesity rate, and most of these people are walking in and are diabetic?
Yes, ma'am, it is. The obesity rate is almost twice the national average, and so is the diabetes rate. More and more we're seeing people under the age of 20 being diagnosed with diabetes, which means that, by the age of 30, they might have experienced their first heart attack. By 40, they might start having open bypass surgeries on their heart. But it just starts with the education. We just need to start educating the kids on this.
And let's talk about that education. We mentioned food stamps, that most people are trying to get the most food for their buck. But what's some things that people can do to combat obesity? Things
they can do to combat obesity: just get educated. Get out there and talk to your local dietitians. Anybody can call themselves a nutritionist, but things that they can do is exercise more, drink more water. Eat plenty of fruits and vegetables. Eat out less, and always eat your breakfast, not skipping meals.
All right, thank you, Humberto, so much for coming on the show and shedding light on this issue.